Hi guys, we're back in the workshop with the Can-am again. We're going to take a very small video here just showing you how to get an old shaft that's broken off flush with the diff out so you can replace it with a new one. So here's our broken shaft, and unfortunately yours might look a little something like that. When you've got the stub of spline left in the diff, there's nothing to grab a hold of and pull it out, so we're going to take you through this video how to do that and get everything nailed back together again so you can get out riding. So before we get into it, hit the subscribe button now and get back in. Okay, so in order to get this apart so that we can get the shaft out and everything, we're obviously going to have to strip down a few bits. So wheels got to come off, obviously. To make this easier for you, I would disconnect the shock mount here at the bottom, and that will let you lift the shock up out of the way, strap it up like we do, just to get it out of the way so you've got a bit of space to work. That means you're not going to be fighting with the shock absorber when you're doing it. I'd also recommend disconnecting the anti-roll bar so you're not fighting with the sway bar, so you're not fighting with the other side as well. Once you've got that disconnected, you're going to want to undo this bolt here, which is your lower ball joint, and that will allow you then to push the bottom arm down and disconnect that completely. And then to remove the rest of the shaft, you've got your hub nut, 30mm hub nut on the outside here, which is cut up in, pretty straightforward. Undo that, the shaft will then pull out completely. Obviously, if it's broken like that, there's nothing connecting the other end, so you don't need to worry about that, so that'll just slide straight out.
Alright, so I'm just ratcheting the shock out of the way just so we've got a bit of space to work, and then pulling out the remains of the shaft. You can see it's had a tough day. Broken clean off, which is really a pain.
Next up, we're going to disassemble the differential. So we just want to take the side cap off. So from this point of view, this is probably what you're seeing. Obviously, the shaft will already be broken, but we've got a ring of bolts here that circle the differential. They're a 12mm head. I'm going to disassemble those, remove those. We'll pull off the breather here, and then there's a plug just here that we'll need to disconnect as well. Okay, so this is the differential out of the vehicle in this orientation. So we're looking at the driver's side in this case. So this is where the drive shaft goes on and your axle shafts come out, obviously, with the CV. So this is the ring of bolts that I mentioned, and then breather and the plug, so we want to remove them, and then this casing here will literally just pull off. You'll need to drain the differential oil at the same time prior to doing this so that you don't end up with oil everywhere.
Then once you've got all the bolts out, the differential literally will just drop out. We've got a diff out, and you can see I've chucked it in the vise there, and now I'm just welding a scrap bolt to the end of the threaded splines, just taking care not to weld the diff, and making sure I'm not just getting it on the bolt and on the old shaft. I can now put the bolt in the vise, and that gives me something to grab a hold of, and a little tap with a soft hammer there has got the splined end out, as you can see, broken. Now all we've got to do is put the diff back in, which is just the reverser removal, tighten up the diff bolts, drop the shaft back in, and basically put everything back together again. Okay, so the wheels can go back on again now everything's buttoned up, and we're ready to go and break some other stuff.
That's it then, guys. Pretty straightforward stuff. Very a bit more involved than you normally would have to go to swapping out a shaft, but you know, that's what happens when you have too much fun. So if you like the video, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be doing more videos related to the Can-am, and then obviously we do the racing videos and all the other cool stuff that we do as well, the projects and stuff. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.